Hey everybody, today I've got another cool coding project I created a while ago. And basically what it does is it combines two things you can input. And I actually originally created this to create relationship names, but it can be used for many different things, many different purposes, whatever you need it for. But so it's got these ABC values and ABC XYZ here for demonstration purposes. So it does all the possible combinations of combining them. And you can see there's kind of a pattern there, and I'll show you how that works when we get to the code. But let's just put some tests in here. So we'll say test and testing. And that could kind of come interesting, because then we could get things like testing and testing and all these other things. You can put some really long things in this. We do A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, and test. And then we can get a whole lot of different possibilities. And you can see it kind of has this Christmas tree effect if you start scrolling too quickly. It's kind of cool. Anyway, let's jump over into the coding and I'll show you how it works. Alright, so here we have the coding, and the HTML is as basic as it could possibly be. It's just got two input values and like a button and a response box. The real interest is here in the JavaScript. So we go down here, and I had this return function, or this reverse function, because I used it quite a few times in the combine function. And every time you click this combine function, here's kind of the logic it goes through. It gets your two words, calling them 1 and 2, giving them labels, and then we reverse the second word because it helps us later on. And then we need the length of how long the words are. And then we have this text variable that's going to include our response to the user. So there's actually two halves to this project. You start with word 1 and word 2 and combining them that way, and then you have the second half, which is word 2 and word 1. And the process is nearly identical, it's just which word comes first. So basically, all we're doing is copying all this code down here and then replacing 1 and 2 with each other. So how does it actually work though? And to do that, we got to understand, well, how could you actually find every possible combination of two words? And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take each word and say, okay, well, you can have it be the first letter, the first and second letter, or all three letters if we use that ABC XYZ example. So you could have A, AB, or ABC, and then you could have X, XY, XYZ, things like that. So what it does is it gets the length of the number and uses that to determine how many repetitions it's going to go through. And then it's going to say, okay, well, let's start with the first part of it, and then take the second part and increment it so it has all its letters. And then once we've used up as many times as the second word can be, now change the first word again, and then go back and do that process again with the second word using all its different forms, and then do that thing where we adjust the first word again, and do that until the first word has been adjusted as many times as it possibly can be. The logic here is pretty confusing, so if you spend some time reading through it, it'll start to make sense, but it's very, very, very difficult to understand. And that finds every possible combination of the two words in that order, with word 1 and then word 2. And then as I mentioned earlier, we just go through that process again, but using word 2 first instead of word 1. And to kind of demonstrate that, you can see the variable parts starts with 1 length, which means the length of word 1, and then down here it does 2 length for the length of word 2. And so that's kind of how this project works, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and check out the rest of my channel.